Hello, ladies, and possibly a gentleman, or vice versa. I am Kenny the Star Maker Bolin. I am running late as I had notified my co host about that I would be running late tonight. I'll get into all that shit later. It has been a hell of a day. But I haven't heard back from Bob. I think Coltrane said he'd be running 15 minutes late, but no one ever set up the show, and I couldn't. I don't know how to set it up from my phone. And was running very late today. Had a doctor's appointment and a couple of other things I had to take care of today, including my bank account being compromised by something called Cincinnati Bill Pay. I don't live in Cincinnati. I'll get into all that later. I have no idea how many of us show up tonight. I think the Timberwolves are playing tonight. And then I think 0.4% might be watching the hockey game. Bob might be one of those. I don't know. We may not be here long. So, because I didn't get a chance to send links to all of our donors, I just had time to basically set up the show and then hop in here and see who shows up. A few of you had written me wanting to know if we were doing a live show tonight. And I thought Bob was getting in. I think he said he was running late. He'd be home about 7:30. So I said, we'll go ahead and set up the show. And I'll probably be 15, 20 minutes late. Because when I got to get in, I got to take care of the dogs and everything. Because they had a lengthy day here without me. And so I knew I was going to be running late. And I was right at 20-something minutes late. And had to set up the show and answer those of you that had wrote me and wanted to know, are y'all live? So... but maybe Bob's doing hockey tonight. I don't know. Coltrane, you never know when he's gonna. He said he'd be here 15 minutes late, but it's now 30 minutes. Good old Coltrane. The train's always late. That should be his new slogan. So we're still trying to raise enough money to get that third washing machine. We're also trying to help Jen become self-sufficient with her. Jollibee said they would hire her within 3 weeks. She would be making 700 to 800 pesos per day. Right now, she makes 125 pesos per day. So that would be a dramatic improvement for her and her family and help them become self-sufficient. I apologize for not having time to send links out to all of the people who normally donate or have memberships to this show. I don't send one to everybody's got memberships, but to everyone who normally donates to the show, I do what I can. Mayla Lee's in the chat room tonight on Facebook and is the first one here. And I know it takes a little bit for y'all to get your notifications for those of you that actually get them. 10,000 subscribers. And so few of you get the notifications, which is, I don't get it. I've quit trying to figure it out. How you doing, Jazzy Jana? We appreciate you dropping in. And I didn't even send Jazzy Jana a link. I didn't have time to send anybody a link. I think I answered maybe 8 or 10 of you that wrote my inbox, King, are we going live tonight? And I said, yeah, eventually. Because I didn't know we weren't. So thank you for dropping in, Jazzy Jana. So we're trying to raise money to get that last washing machine. We've gotten 2 of them. As a matter of fact, one of them is being purchased today. That's Jasmine's family. She graduates today from college. She's getting ready to enter the workforce, probably somewhere in the Manila area. Honey Rose mentioned that she might be working in the Cebu area. She graduates later this week. Might be today as well. So yeah, we got a few people. And Jen's trying to improve her situation, but it'll take. It costs some money to get her all the paperwork she needs, but once we get her paperwork, she will be self-sufficient. It's amazing what they charge for a birth certificate there. Here in Kentucky, they charge $10. If you want your birth certificate, you send the state of Kentucky $10, they send you your birth certificate. Well, because Jen was born at home 28 years ago, it cost $100 to produce her birth certificate. Because they say you have to have proof of live birth. I'm going to tell you how I would handle that if I were in the Philippines, and I'd probably be kicked out of the country. But the proof of my live birth is as I'm standing here in front of you, mofo. See, I even cleaned it up a little bit. I'm standing here in front of you. I was not hatched. Yes, congratulations to Jasmine and Honey Rose and the various others that are graduating today. So that's great. Um, I think the train whistle just sounded.
Never fear, the train is here.
What happened to Bob tonight?
I haven't heard from him at all.
He wrote me and said that he'd be getting in around 7:30. I said, great. I got that echo again tonight, though.
From me?
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, hang on.
All right. Let's see what we're hearing now. Yeah, I don't hear one now. Are you still there?
Okay, how's that?
All right. Let's see what we got now.
All right.
No, it's still there.
Damn. Okay, is everybody else hearing this, or is it just you?
Yeah,
on my show, Michelle was hearing it, but nobody else was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know what's.
All right.
I don't hear it.
Well, if anyone else hears it, yeah, I hear it when I talk. I don't hear it when you. Yeah, okay. When I talk.
It might be coming through my speakers into my microphone. Let me come over here real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and try now.
No, Bob mentioned he's getting home about 7:30, and I said, well, go ahead and set the show up because I don't know when I'm going to be home. I said, it's going to be after 9 o'clock. So I was going to have him set the show up. And I said, you all go ahead and go on the first 15, 20 minutes. And that'll give you a chance to talk about hockey and shit like that. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, I just had a blank expression.
And
Still
then
hearing feedback, Jen?
Yeah, what are you hearing, Jazzy Jana? Just hearing some. Okay, yeah. Now, are you hearing? Yeah, I'm still.
I'm not hearing anything.
So sometimes you kick out and then you come back. Yeah, sometimes you kick in and come back in, and it goes away.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It might be a speck of dust in the port or something like that.
I don't know.
Remember those old Nintendo games where you blew all your spit into it?
Yeah, if you blew it out with rubbing alcohol.
Oh yeah. Or
your blow dryer or something like that.
Hey, Maylali. Did I say that right?
I call her Maylali. I call her Maylali.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
Man, that sounds like the name of a like a Western villain, doesn't it?
Don't it now?
I hear Ronnie Beaumont's in town.
Ronnie Beaumont. He just bought him a new gun.
Cousin Jefferson told me that when the Savannah Bananas were in Louisville, they wanted Jimmy C to throw the first pitch out. He said, no, they asked you, but you wanted too much money. Is that true?
That is true. I wanted way too much money. True? And Jimmy can't throw a baseball. I can assure you.
I was about to ask if that was the reason.
No. The Bananas did not want. Now, Cena did play for the Bananas.
Really?
Yeah, Cena. From what I have been told, I haven't seen it, but I've been told that he did play in a Banana ball game. What he did, I don't know. I've never seen the clip. But
so he wasn't like a regular player. He just played a game.
I think he was involved in a game. Okay. Is what I've been told. But no, I requested the $50,000 minimum for my charity, and the Banana said, "Well, we only have 48,000." I said, "Well, you're 2,000 short, right?"
You're short.
And I said, and plus you've insulted me because you asked a guy. I would say he throws like a girl, but a lot of girls can throw a pretty good pitch.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know,
that
used to be the thing back. That used to be the thing back in school, and you could say that back then. You throw like a girl. There's a lot of girls could out throw the guy.
Girls done got different, didn't they?
No, what you say now is you throw like Jimmy Cornette.
There you go.
No offense, Jimmy's no athlete. Jimmy couldn't play baseball, basketball, or football. He had a basketball goal in his backyard, and then he realized the first time I went. Then he realized
the fellas showed up, right?
Then he realized the first time I went over there and played him that he should tear that damn thing down. What was the best thing for him to do?
Were you to dunk ever, or were you just a layup guy?
No. I did dunk one time. I did, and I'll tell the story real quick. I
got one dunk in my life.
I got one. At my tallest, I was 6 foot and 3/4 inch. I was not known for a leaper. My 3-point shot was great because I learned it from Larry Bird. Why was Larry Bird's 3-point shot great? Because he didn't really jump. They said that you could put a piece of paper in front of Larry Bird and trip him because he just did not. He did not. But Darrell Griffith, I did not learn my 3-point shots from Darrell Griffith. You know why? He had a 48-inch vertical leap, and that son of a bitch would jump 40 inches on a jump shot.
Well, that's basically just kind of dropping it in like a dime. Huh?
Well, but from the 3-point line, he's elevating himself over the taller guards. You know, the Griffith was 6'4". You throw somebody out there 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", and the way to shut me down is if you guarded me at the 3-point line and had somebody that was 3 or 4 inches taller than me. It's a difficult shot to get off. Griffith would just jump over you. That was not my option. So I learned to shoot far enough back that they wouldn't guard me. I was shooting NBA threes before there were NBA threes. And that is something that was they stole from the ABA, by the way.
Well, say, when did the 3-point line come up in the NBA?
NBA did not have the 3-point line until they saw it was a huge success in the ABA. And if you notice, women's basketball uses the multicolored ball. Yeah. Which to me is much easier to follow on television.
Yep.
ABA had the red, white, and blue ball, which I still got one around here somewhere, probably in a storage closet.
I have a Moses Malone ball somewhere in the garage.
All right, there we go. Now, we want to talk some trivia tonight. We'll get some in, and we're hoping the donations are good tonight because we do have several projects we're working on. Some of them are big ones.
Right, wake up,
hang on here. Where'd it go? Hang on. I was told we were going to have a challenge early tonight, but I don't know if he knew we were actually going to go live tonight. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I guess Bob's watching hockey tonight. I asked him to set the show up if he was coming in at 7:30, and so he's missed Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah. Just doesn't care.
I thought Jimmy played tennis. I think that was just a game.
Who said that? Who said
Beaumont?
Beaumont? I don't know where the hell you're getting your information at. He owned a tennis racket. Jimmy
carried a tennis racket with him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jimmy couldn't play a fucking round of tennis. He'd have to move. He'd have to. And I hope he's watching tonight. I hear he sees a lot of clips from his show. I hope he's watching tonight. My big fat ass with a bad back, bad knees, bad hip, weighing 600 pounds could beat Jimmy Cornette at tennis. And he knows that.
Man's not an athlete.
Man is not an athlete. I'm trying to think of something he is good at. Athletic.
He's been known to embellish the truth from time to time.
He did learn to throw the punch from Lawler way better than I never learned the punches. Being left-handed, I had to throw broad arms and forearms. I learned that from Phil Hickerson and those that threw good broad arms, Ox Baker, people like that, because that's what I had to. I was terrified to throw. Now I could do the jab.
Talking about the flipper.
I could do the jab like Ali did. You know, where I got you in the corner. I could throw those and not kill you, but I could not throw those Lawler because I'd have
stinging
to do it
jabs.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
You know who else had a good one? It was Jake the Snake.
Yeah, his were real good.
He had like 3 good snaps before he gave you a roundhouse.
Jimmy, for a manager, probably had the best punch, but he learned from Bobby Eaton and Jerry Lawler. And Bobby,
he's punched though. I don't recall him.
Oh yeah, he threw them all the time in matches, and it made me mad because he was throwing punches as good as Lawler and Bobby Eaton. And managers,
I think I was just focused on the Midnight Express.
But it was the only thing he could do where he looked like he could possibly maybe fight somebody or be an athlete. But throwing the good punch ruined it. There were several things I could do good in a wrestling ring, but why would I do that? Because it buries the fat manager gimmick. And Jimmy at one point as a manager was over 300 pounds or near 300. I think he claimed he got over 300 for a while. But why would the manager be able to throw great punches? Because he could, but there's some shit I could do too, but it doesn't benefit
Gary Hart
me.
Threw a great punch too. I mean, he was a big guy.
I vaguely remember his punches, but obviously I've seen Jimmy because Jimmy would teach people how to throw punches.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't teach me.
Gary was believable though, because he was a legit kind of street guy.
Oh, I met Gary Hart a few times. I wasn't in any.
He was among my favorite, just psychologically.
I wasn't in any particular big hurry to fight Gary Hart, but I worked on some shows with him in the Atlanta area and met him. He was very nice. You know what Gary Hart tried to do with me?
What's that?
Tried to recruit me to sell Amway because I was selling waterless cookware at the time, and it was him and one other wrestler backstage. I forgot somebody he was with, and they were trying to recruit me to sell Amway. And I said, I know about Amway. I have been in the Amway Grand Hotel. I went to their convention, and I can make a shitload more money selling cookware, honestly, than to work for Amway and be a part of a pyramid.
I think my dad tried that in like '87, and it didn't last long.
No, well, unless you're a distributor, it doesn't. Now, Ronnie, you're dominating the show, and we appreciate that.
Well, let's go with Jana first. She loves WNBA ball. They're just more expensive than the Wilson ones.
So does John Paul, but I haven't heard from John Paul in a while.
I haven't heard from him in forever.
He donates every now and then. He'll drop $25 on us occasionally, but we don't see him on the shows very much. You lost all respect for the Rock and Roll Express. Wow. Well, they were at the convention. They just left before they signed the pictures. So hopefully we can find you a couple more that you like.
Oh, is this the Missouri show?
Yeah. They were there. I saw them on Bill Apter's thing. Ricky was on one side of the 1 hour thing that Bill Apter did, and Robert Gibson, Hoot Gibson, was on the other. So they weren't even sitting together, which was strange. I don't know why.
Maybe
they were
farted.
And then apparently Von Erich missed his plane, so there's 2 autographs that people aren't getting
from Hawaii. Yeah.
But one guy has decided he'll take a Undertaker picture instead. The guy that reached out to Bob, I think he wants Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what he wants. So I miss because WNBA is just now firing back up. See, I thought they were in the playoffs too. I thought it was that's how much
they kick in right when the NBA starts.
That's how dumb I am.
Remember they had that tagline, "We got next."
I tell you what, one of the greatest. Well, technically, in sports history, last night's Pacer versus Knicks was the greatest playoff comeback in NBA history. 1,441 games. Don't quote me on the exact number, but I'm close. I'm quoting Pat McAfee here. I'm not quoting him, but I'm going by the number I remember hearing today. As a matter of fact, I sent you a screenshot of it on Star Maker. Read me the Star Maker stats on the screenshot I sent you from the Pat McAfee show about the greatest comeback in NBA playoff history. Billy says he'd like to have Ray without the mask. That's fine. We can do that.
How far back was it?
I sent it today or yesterday. It's a screenshot. It should be on the Star Maker account.
The chat.
Well, guess I'm just as fucking capable of looking it up as you are. See if I can find it.
Yeah, if it's the regular chat, I'm not seeing it.
We do have one donation in the house so far. Daniel Lemley has donated $15 challenge to get the ball off and rolling. And hang on here. I just found another one. I thought I did. Well, I got to go to my PayPal account and find that donation. So hang on here a minute. But yeah, it was from the Pat McAfee show. It's got a blue background. You don't see it yet?
I see the one with Wolf Blitzer. No.
Yeah. I'll find it in a minute.
Unless it was Tuesday.
I'm trying to find what I was told we were going to have another challenge tonight. Jeff Sanford says that we got to help these people get these washing machines. We got to help Jen get a better job, get her paperwork. Her birth certificate alone is going to cost $100 to get. Another $90 for other paperwork. She needs a medical examination. It's going to run $50. And she needs glasses that are going to run $60 because they won't let her work in the restaurant without that. Was I friends with Jim? Well, I can't answer any more questions until you either get a membership or make a donation. So,
was that yesterday or today that happened? My days are blending.
The Pacer game, it happened yesterday.
Irsay dying.
Irsay, I heard about it today, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Jeff Sanford has made a $55 challenge.
Wow.
To get us the rest of the way to get Jen's paperwork done, to where she can get a good job to go from 125 pesos a day to 800 a day. But no, I can't. I mean, you're Beaumont. You're what's known as a freeloader. Probably Chris Schmidt, to be honest with you. And Ronnie Beaumont. And if that is your real name, but no,
from Dodge
yeah,
City.
this isn't a freeloader show. You got to get a membership, and you have to make a thing that we call a donation, like Daniel Limley has done, and Jeff Sanford. So Jeff Sanford, and I've already answered some of your questions for free, mainly because I wanted, well, Chris Schmidt or whatever your real name is. Let's see. Oh, for those of you that can donate on Venmo tonight, that will be appreciated because my bank account is shut down for 5 or 6 days.
What the hell happened?
Well, 5 to 7. Something called Cincinnati Bill Pay. I decided to just go through my transactions and make sure everything was on the up and up. And normally through my primary bank account, it is. And I'm going through, and then all of a sudden I see a $54 charge that I don't know what it is. It says Cincinnati Bill Pay. And then the payment before that was $284 to Cincinnati Bill Pay. Well, number one, why would I pay Cincinnati Bill Pay in 2 separate payments? And what the fuck is Cincinnati Bill Pay? I live in Louisville.
Right.
What bill would I pay that would say Cincinnati Bill Pay? So I had to call my primary bank account, tell them what's going on. They said, "Well, Kenny, this wasn't done with your debit card." I said, "Yeah, I never got no notification." I said, "When I send money through SendWave to my Filipino families, the second I click send, 2 seconds later, I've got a notification from your bank telling me that you have sent $7, $50, $80, whatever the amount is we send, it tells me." I said, "I never got any notifications on these. If I'd have saw something $54 or because that's bigger than the normal transaction I make through SendWave. We do send bigger, but not as a rule. And I've never sent $284 to anybody through SendWave. So immediately that catches my attention. That wouldn't be my rent because that comes out of my Charlie account. That wouldn't be my car insurance. That comes out of my PayPal account. And so I've got different bills that come out of different accounts. But this looks suspicious. So they get me a phone number on Cincinnati Bill Pay. Yeah, here it is. Says that they're a water bill company. I said, "I don't have a fucking water bill. My water is built into my rent, which is, I pay $9.50 a month for whoever's business it is." And I said, "No, I don't have a water bill. So that would be impossible." And they said, "Well, it does look mighty suspicious. Let me send you to the fraud department." So I called Cincinnati Bill Pay 4 times while I'm on the phone. I said, "Guys," I said, "I don't have to scam y'all out of 320 something bucks, but I also ain't got $320 to fucking give these people either. This is fucked up." So I call them 4 times. First time I call, it says, "For emergency, hang up and dial 911. I call it again. "If you have a local emergency, dial 311. And this is a 513 area code, so it is a Cincinnati number. Because the guy at at my Fidelity Bank Googled it to find out what the fuck Cincinnati Bill Pay is. We call it again, no answer. Call it again, it hangs up on me. I said, "Well, guys, is that enough proof to tell you that this is bullshit?" So they said, "Yeah, this looks bad, and yes, Mr. Bolin, we're going to get you your money back. But to do that, you have to sign a document stating that you're going to kill this account because your bank account has been compromised. Somebody's got your account number." I said, "Well, there's a few people that I do transactions with that do, my old car insurance place, Geico, and various others." I said, there's a few, but none of them are fucking
knows you.
What's that?
This guy knows you.
Well, I won't. If you knew anything, I don't speak to Tim anymore for being a racist little bitch that tried to call ICE on people that are Mexican in his trailer park. And we recently discovered that Timmy John. Well, it's not recently discovered. We recently let him know. I've known since 2012 that Timmy John's father's Mexican. He was a Mexican who was in the Navy. That my mother had apparently a brief affair with and came up with Timmy John. So, So no, I won't be telling him anything, and I already don't like this account, so um, just be gone. Um, you tell Timmy John next time you see him, because I won't be, because I don't like a racist piece of shit motherfucker. And if you hang out with Timmy John, it tells me something already. All right. Yeah, that was a troll from the beginning.
Yeah.
If it's not Chris Schmidt.
Yeah, because he already asked if he's seen me on NYPD or some cop show, and yeah, we know who he's talking about. Come on.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, this shit.
Yeah, he was a troll. Let's see here. Yeah, so anybody who can donate on Venmo tonight, those would be appreciated, because they're telling me it could be 5 to 7 days before I have my new bank account. I said the good thing is money go, because I get paid through Fidelity. That's where my payroll checks go. And I said, well, I get paid tomorrow. I said, if I shut down my account, I don't get paid. No, you can put money into this account. You just can't take any out for 5 to 7 days. We're shutting down all transactions, debit card or bank drafts. I said, okay, all right. I guess this is what I got to do to get my $320 something back. So if you can donate on Venmo, those are appreciated tonight, because that way we can send that money directly through Sendway. And unless somebody out there knows, can you transfer money directly from PayPal to Venmo instantly without paying a big ass fee for it?
I guess I never thought about it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Let me, I'll look it up though.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you so much. I'm doing my podcast right now, but I really appreciate that. And I got something special I'm going to do for you on the 15th of next month. Period. I think you will like it. All right.
You said PayPal to what, Zelle?
PayPal, no. I haven't had Zelle in quite some time, because I only had like 2 people that donated on it. If you remember, that's the guy in California that went through the trouble to shut down my Zelle account.
Oh, yeah.
Even though there was only 2 people that donated on Zelle ever. So, yeah, shove it up your ass.
What, though?
PayPal to Venmo, is there a way to do an instant transaction without fees?
Well, I think PayPal owns Venmo.
No, PayPal owns. Goddamn, you're right.
Yeah,
but
I saw Michelle with a Venmo shirt.
But I don't think you can. I don't think you can transfer there.
Okay, it
immediately.
Says,
maybe. Now I can transfer from Venmo to PayPal immediately with no problem. But it seems like
you can transfer money from PayPal to Venmo using Visa Plus, a feature that facilitates seamless transfers.
Well, what's Visa Plus?
I don't know. It says open your PayPal app menu, send and receive with Visa Plus. Select that, follow the prompts, and just enter the recipient's name.
I would have to know what Visa Plus is.
Yeah, when you open your app, it'll tell you.
Billy, where's your badge? I know you had one. Kenny, my mom fell down the steps today. She is okay though. Well, that ain't good.
That sucks.
Well, I guess it's good that she's okay. I'm going to watch NASCAR this weekend. I'm not. If I want to see a bunch of redneck racists gather in a big glop of people, I'll go to Timmy John's house.
Visa Plus is a money transfer service developed by Visa that allows people to send and receive money between different peer-to-peer payment apps like PayPal and Venmo without
probably have to pay to get Visa
names. Basically, so you don't have to know each other's names and usernames and all that kind of shit. So it's kind of like you can do everything in secret without them compromising.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Visa Plus, so I guess we're gonna have to wait 7 days to transfer money to Venmo, I guess.
Oh, wait. Here's another key feature. Send PayPal to Venmo and vice versa. No fees.
Yeah.
Transfers are usually completed in less than 30 minutes.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. Well, I'll look into it after the show and see what we can do.
GPT, man. That's my answer to everything.
I don't even know how to use that. I know a lot of people that do. I don't even know how to use that.
You literally just talking to the microphone, say, what the hell is blah, 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 and it'll tell you.
Zach Bonifer has donated to PayPal $12.57. Thank you, Zach. We appreciate that. one of my hotels I'm dealing with just sent me a price quote. So we got $15 from Daniel Lemley, $12 from Zach Bonifer, and a $55 challenge from Jeffrey Sanford to help us get to Jen's work requirement pay, because that's basically going to be about $280.
That's crazy.
To get all the paperwork she needs so that she can get a real job instead of making 125 pesos a day, which is about $2.50 if she's lucky, to 800 pesos, which is about $16 a day. So those of you out there that are making $16 an hour, she is aspiring to make $16 a day so she doesn't have to make $2.50 a day anymore. Try that on. So she's going to feel rich making $16 a day. She doesn't even know what that feels like.
Wow.
Because the most she's ever made in a day is $5 a day, and that is working a 12-hour shift.
Jeez.
If she works a 12-hour shift, they pay her $5 for the day. Thank you for your service.
Fat-ass Americans, aren't you glad that by accident of birth you just happen to drop out here?
Mm-hmm. Accident of birth. And they want to charge $100 for a birth certificate because she was born at home 28 years ago. And it's $100 to produce that birth certificate.
But I don't think that means there's no more rednecks there. There's just a few more regular people.
So old Beaumont wasn't good for a donation or a membership, but he sure had plenty to say, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you see Timmy John, which proves that I haven't seen this show in a while, I've covered why that's not going to happen.
Or he has, and he's just trolling you.
AKA Chris Schmidt.
There you go.
Who knows? Who knows?
And he's
been a member for a while because I had it set up to where you could not comment here unless you had a membership for 20 minutes. And I think we had not been on 20 minutes when he popped in here.
No.
So
you imagine having that much time on your hands to just fuck with shows?
No, I do not. Because there's a lot of people I don't like that I still don't go to their shows and troll them because it's
fun.
Don't
go to their shows, period.
No, I just don't go to their shows. Kenny, did you see what Cornette said? No, only when you all send it to me. Yep. Normally it's a fucking lie more often than not. And let's see here. So, yeah, 55 from Jeff Sanford on his challenge. 15 from Daniel Lemley, $12.57 from Zach Bonifer. And that's been it so far. And I have not heard from Herb Simmons yet to see what autographs he was able to get. I have no idea. I just know who we didn't get. So we might be back to moving the autographs that I have. I did see Abdullah the Butcher there, and I didn't even recognize him. He didn't look
like
thin-ish. Very, very, very thin, yeah, compared to what he was. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, he got new teeth and everything.
Did he? Well, that's
he has his mouth is just full of white pearly teeth, and you know that.
I have got an appointment coming up sometime in June. Maybe early July with U of L School of Dentistry. It's a consultation, and then we'll set up the actual day for me to get my dentures. That'll be weird because I haven't had any teeth. I haven't had any teeth in a long time.
You'll be sucking your teeth for a week.
It has been hot this week. Well, not here. I'm in a hoodie I'm in a hoodie for a reason, and I'm going to be in one for several days. We were in the upper 80s a few days ago. Yesterday's high was 67. Today's high was 61. It's currently 55 right now, going down to 47 tonight. Yeah, these are unheard of temperatures for Louisville, Kentucky this time of year. Normally, once you get into late May, the lows are in the 60s and the highs are in the 80s. We don't see the 80s anywhere in the 10-day forecast.
Oh, that must
the 10-day forecast is nothing but 60s. And I think there's one day we might hit 71. But as the weatherman once said many moons ago, The person that believes the 8th, 9th, and 10th days of that 10-day forecast are a bigger fool than the weatherman that gave it to you. I heard that about 20 years ago. I think Tom Wills was the weatherman 20, 30 years ago. And the person that believes days 8, 9, and 10 on this forecast are a bigger fool than the man that read it to you.
I tell you what, here it's 3 days out. It can be completely different. No rain in the forecast.
Oh my God. By the way, I hate to criticize Alexa, but Alexa can't predict the weather for shit.
Oh no.
I just heard her. Hey Alexa, what's the forecast? You can expect rain at 11 a.m. It might be 10 a.m. You can expect 1.1 inches of rain. 11 a.m. shows up. Hey Alexa, what's the weather forecast? Rain is likely at 4 p.m. You can expect 0.3 of an inch of rain. Well, what happened to the inch I'm supposed to get at 11? And Alexa is
partly sunny day.
Alexa is the absolute worst weather predictor of all the apps you got.
Yeah, she's the shits.
But even the local weather can screw it up sometimes. Let's see. Where'd Jazzy Janet go? Jazzy, are you still Billy? Why don't you have a badge? Don't tell me you ain't got $3. I know better than that.
His computer keeps crashing.
My computer crashed. Well, you just told me you got it fixed.
Hey, were you looking at stuff you wasn't supposed to be looking at, Billy?
Probably. Billy was on one of them sites.
Mm-hmm.
Billy was on one of them sites. Got explaining to do, Billy. Let's see. No more rednecks at NASCAR. No. Billy, Train. You're a black man in Arizona.
I am.
Do you feel safe at a NASCAR event?
No, shit, no.
No. I don't feel safe at a NASCAR event because I've been known to defend the black man. Well, ever since they got that black race car driver named Bubba something or another, black man named Bubba, he's safest guy in the building, right?
And he finding nooses and shit in his garage.
Yeah. Then they threatened him with nooses. They did.
No fucking thanks, man.
A black man named Bubba, and they were going to hang him.
Mm-hmm.
No, there ain't no more. There's no more.
Yeah, I couldn't tailgate at a NASCAR event.
Billy, you might try to convince me there's less rednecks at a NASCAR event.
I'll buy
but no, not everybody goes. I've never met anybody that said, I love NASCAR. Billy's going to be so offended right now. That wasn't deep down inside a fucking redneck. Now, whether they're racist or not.
At least a country boy.
At least a country boy. There you go. Another person I love of dark skin persuasion. Can I say that?
You can.
I'm going to say it. Hell, I don't feel safe in the bayou. Oh, trust me. Superfest here says NASCAR. Sorry, y'all. My sister called. Oh, that's okay. That's all right.
Hell, Arizona State Fair.
I look
all those
at
Bubba show up.
He looks at porno on his phone, not his computer. Why don't you? I mean, if I'm going to watch porno, I'd like to throw it up in my 70s.
Yeah, I want it on the screen. But I guess if his mom was walking around,
I will. You know. I've seen some porn in my days. I mean, I'm from the days of Vanessa Del Rio.
Me too.
Jimmy Cornette bringing over bags of. When Jimmy first got famous, he used to go to VCX Studios in California. Do you know what that is?
The porn studio.
VCX was the porn studio. Well, they love Cornette out there. So when Cornette would go, they would fill him up with garbage bags full of VHS tapes.
Oh my God. And remember, those were like $89 each.
Back then they were.
Yeah.
And they give him garbage sacks full of porno tapes. And I remember in 1990 when I went to Charlotte to visit Jimmy after I'd gotten divorced, I drove a piece of shit Mercury Lynx to because I had to give up my car in the divorce to Gabrielle. And so I'm stuck with and to tell you the deal I got on the Mercury Lynx, I had so little money that I traded her a Nintendo and a VCR for her car. Regular Nintendo, the original. I traded her a Nintendo. I traded her a Nintendo and a VCR for her car because it needed some work done on it. My sister's boyfriend was a mechanic, so he got it running for me. I drove it to Charlotte. It was the 1984 Mercury Lynx. God damn, that car was only 6 years old. What the fuck?
When you look back on time, shit just don't
My
feel
car,
right.
my car now is 21 years old, and people admire my car. Oh, Kenny, that's a good looking car. And no one said that about the Mercury Lynx. It was black and silver. That car was only 6 years old. I put 4 carburetors on that car, all kinds of engine work. Oh, it needed a carburetor every time you. I remember it broke down on me on Christmas Day once when I was going to visit Chris. I hated that fucking car. But like a fool, I drive it to Charlotte. It got great gas mileage. I remember pulling over at a gas station in Asheville, North Carolina. This is 1990. I pull over at a gas station. I said, do me a favor, check the gas and fill it up with oil. That's how bad that son of a bitch was leaking oil. God damn, man, you're 5 quarts low. I said, well, put 5 quarts in it and we'll get to the... So when I pulled into Jimmy's driveway, it just threw up. The car it just couldn't go no more. Just you hear clunking and clanking and shit's falling out from underneath the car. And oil dripping all over Jimmy's driveway. And he said, well, I guess we're going to have to send that down to the mechanic or you can't go home. So the Jimmy's defense, I think he spent like $300 or $400 fixing my car so I can go back home. I'm coming up the Appalachian Mountains, and that car smoked so bad because when I got over the Appalachian Mountains and got into Asheville is when I said, fill it up with oil and check the gas. Because I knew
Smoky
the gas.
Mountains.
I knew it was the Smoky Mountains for a reason when I went through there. So people are so pissed because I'm trying to go up, and the harder you try to go up that mountain, the more smoke's coming out of my car. It is so smoky that I can't see the traffic behind me. So the traffic behind me is fucking furious. So they're passing me, flipping me the bird because I got a shitty car. Like, not taking pity, not offering me a ride up the mountain or a push. They're flipping me the bird. I've smoked up the Smoky Mountains. They're mad at me. So
I just got a message from Bob. Sorry, just got back home.
Well, he might as well watch hockey now. Fuck, we're damn near done with the show. No, he told me he was getting home at 7:30. It's 10 o'clock.
Hey, maybe he found.
He can pop in. He can pop in if he wants. I don't care.
Come on in, Bobby.
Come on in, beautiful Bobby Bangs. Let's see here. Billy Sellers showing me all of his knowledge. The black driver's name is Bubba. Well, I knew it was Bubba. I couldn't have told you his last name if you'd offered me $1,000.
Wallace. Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, I didn't know. They threatened to hang him. Wasn't it a year ago?
A year or
1
two.
or 2 years ago, they were going to hang the man because he's a black man in NASCAR.
It's just the way they tie the knots or some shit like that. Like,
How many black hockey players are there? I bet Bob knows.
3 or 4, I think.
Is there that many in a
Honestly,
league?
don't know. I just pulled that on my ass.
Oh, well, here's what I didn't know. I was giving Bob some shit last night because Dallas is down. The Dallas Star Makers, I had to force them to change their name. You remember that hit the news. Remember they went by the Dallas Star Makers for one game? Basically had my logo on their jersey. So I sued them and they had to shorten it. And so, yeah, they only appeared one game as the Star Makers. So I used to kind of root for them a little bit when they were the Star Makers. And then what's with these putrid Philadelphia Eagle green jerseys they wear? What's with that?
Yeah.
I mean, good God. Do they do the tush push as well? What the fuck?
Oh,
so
this is surprising. There are 34 black players in the NHL.
No fucking way.
Yeah. 3% of the league.
Name 3 of them.
Evander Kane from.
No, I mean from the top of your head.
Shit.
Okay,
guy.
there you go. Yeah, I can read them. Well, maybe not. Are there 34 black men in all of Canada?
34, 35.
A lot of Filipinos in Canada, but
a lot of Chinese in Canada too. Surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of. No, it was
Tommy
a prank.
Chong
They were gonna hang him. Oh, that's a great prank, Billy. Oh, they were just teasing. No, they were just joshing. Jazzy Jana, how do you feel about being joshed about being a black person and being hung at a NASCAR event?
I tell you, just
Billy,
see the light in her eyes come up.
Billy, you better get a badge. Jesus Christ.
Billy,
they were just joshing around, man.
Can't you take it?
It was all a big rib. But they were going to hang the man.
Just trying to intimidate you a little bit is all.
Coltrane, do you like it when your friends just josh with you about
I
hanging you?
beam with joy, boy. I just...
Oh, you guys.
No, that'd get your ass whooped.
Well, somebody I've never heard of has donated $10 tonight.
Nice.
Chris, and Jazzy, feel free to promote your sister's book. Your sister's got a book coming out.
Yeah.
I told you to feel free to do that. But Christy Fowkes doesn't give me any. Donated $10 on Cash App. Oh, is that a friend of yours?
Yeah. Thank you, Christy.
You didn't threaten to hang her, did you?
No.
Good. And Jazzy Jana with a very nice donation. This is for the washer in honor. In honor of Jazzy Jana's 39th birthday. So happy birthday. By the way, tomorrow is my daughter-in-law's. Tomorrow's my daughter-in-law Maya's birthday.
Is it?
And baby Bella's birthday is tomorrow. My ex-girlfriend's daughter. Her birthday is tomorrow. So yeah, Maya and Jazzy, what is your exact day? Carolina Hurricane is not doing good tonight. Well, Billy, you ruined the hockey game for me. Now I can't watch hockey. God damn it.
Where's my flag? I can't throw it.
Billy comes on here. They were just joking around about hanging the black guy. That was just a
so is that the 25th? That's my daughter's birthday.
My birthday is on Sunday. So I'm a few days early. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. So Jazzy Jana, in honor of her 39th birthday,
my
has donated $39 in honor for the washer and things. So thank you. And then Christy donated. So we got 49. We got 49 over in the Cash App. Now, if I can figure out how to get that to Venmo,
just Google it, old man.
you old fat white fucker, Kenny. Billy, Jazzy Jana, be careful. Billy might joke about hanging you. Billy, you can't joke about hanging a black man at a NASCAR event. That's considered not funny. But here we are laughing.
Here we are laughing. Right now.
Billy, that might be the funniest goddamn thing I've ever. They just kidding.
Just joshing around.
Oh, good.
Can't you take a joke?
Can't you take a joke, Bubba?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's usually the question I've been asked before I slap the shit out of somebody.
What mother gave birth to a black man and named him Bubba?
I think that's a nickname. Hopefully. Let me look.
Well, I'm pretty sure, but still, somebody.
You know what, though? There was a girl I dated that she had a mixed child.
Her name was not Bubba. Her name was not Bubba.
No, her name was. Oh, Bubba.
So the black girl you dated was what now?
No, it was a white girl that had a black child. She called him Bubba. You are not doing him favors in his future.
No, she didn't help him out any, did she?
At all.
So a black girl had a white child, named the kid Bubba.
Other way around. White girl had a black child.
White girl had a black child. That sounds more likely.
His name is William Darrell Wallace.
Is that his name?
It might be Darrell. I don't know. It has 2 R's.
Okay. All right.
Just say Darrell. It sounds better. Sounds blacker.
Sounds blacker, right? Oh, God.
I notice there's always 2 ways white people say black. Either like black.
There's the Trump. Let me do Trump's. Let me do Trump's way. Oh, there he is in the front row, my black guy. Oh, I love the black. I love the black. Almost says it with a disdain in his voice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, some people just say black. Like,
yeah, like Coltrane. He's one of my black friends.
Mm-hmm.
So he's one of my black. You say it that way,
or they look around.
Has a different
like
feeling.
It's a dirty word.
Look at Bob being all Texas racist on this. Bob being all Texas racist. Bob, I need you to name those 34 black players. But that's how Vince McMahon said it.
Oh yeah.
We just hired us another black wrestler.
I remember Court Bauer, the writer that had his own show.
Yes, I do remember him.
He used to talk about Vince talking about brown sugar an awful lot. Like
It seems like I know Court Bauer, but it seems like there's a reason I didn't want to know him anymore. What's up with Court Bauer?
Yeah, he was saying that Vince would whenever there was a black diva, he'd start pitching something and just start talking about how much he loves that black sugar. That brown sugar. And I could just
I don't think it's considered complimentary these days.
I don't think so either, but yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Randy says check Venmo, but he might have wrote me that quite a while ago.
Is that the Macho Man?
That's Randy the Macho Man. Yeah, that's the donation that we've already announced. Thank you, Randy. So yeah, anybody that can donate on Venmo, I'm getting along. I get along with everyone. Not if you keep talking. I'll tell you who you're not going to get along with. Black people that you think should find it funny that you tease about hanging them at a NASCAR event. Those people are not going to get along with you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw some burning crosses in while we're at it.
Remember, we've tried to help you with good sound advice on this show before. Jazzy. So I'm only going to ask the two black people that are on the show right now. That would be Jazzy Jenna, who's black, not black. And Jason Tibbs, whose last name I didn't know, even though he's made countless donations to the show. I'm chatting with him like he's a fucking new fan of the show, and he said, "You know this is Jason." No, no, I didn't. So,
I would think after that whole mail debacle, you remember that.
Oh my Billy, what the fuck? Did you just see the last thing he typed?
Oh my God, Billy boy.
Oh my fucking God.
Okay, Jana's got to see this one. Hold
Jazzy. God damn.
Oh,
Billy
boy.
Billy, what are you drinking tonight? God damn.
Now, give me an example of some of that dark chocolate you like.
I do
See
have
how quickly you can come up with a name.
I do have a confession to make. I had a black girlfriend.
No shit.
Go figure. When this was around 2006, 2005, I just moved into my new house, and my mother's staying with me for a few weeks before she goes to Florida to visit her mother. My mother had only spoke to Don on the phone, and Mom had made some assumptions through conversations with Don on the phone. So I get home about one. Huh?
Did Don use her white voice on the phone?
Don apparently had a very white voice. So Mom had made some assumptions about Don because Don would call the house all the time, and Mom, oh hi, and hi Mrs. Bolin. Oh, Kenny just raves about your fried potatoes and cornbread and beans, and I can't wait to get over there and try that. So Mom's thinking she's an old country white girl just wanting to eat some beans, cornbread, and fried taters. So me and Don go out to the movies. We go to Old Charlie's for dinner after the movies. So we get home pretty late. It's about 1:30, and Don's going to come in and spend the night. And Mom normally goes to bed right after the evening news. So about 11:30, Mom's asleep. Oh, am I going to get you meet your mother tonight? I said, oh, I doubt it. I said, Mom probably went to bed about 11:30. I said, I guess you'll see her in the morning. Maybe we'll get Mom to whip up a good old country breakfast in the morning or something. So Mom's sitting on the porch smoking a cigarette, 1:30 in the morning. She's worried about me because I'm not home yet. I'm fucking 37, 35, however old I am. No, I'm older than that. No, I'm 45. I'm 45 years old. So me and Don get, and I go over, and I got tinted windows in the Cadillac or whatever I'm driving. I go open the door, and Don steps out of the car. And then Don gets out of the car, and Mom stands up off the porch and just looks at her. Oh, is this Don? I said, yeah, this is Don. This is Don, my mother Marie, Mrs. Bolin, whatever you want to call her. Oh, Don, you sounded much taller on the phone. Yeah. You sounded about 6'6" on the phone, Don. You gotta be shitting me.
I used to always get when I was in customer service, you don't sound like you belong in Nebraska. I don't.
People thought both me and my sister were white when we worked at customer service because of how we speak.
Yeah, we all got that white voice at work.
Yeah. I've had Filipinos be offended that I know they're Filipino. So Chris told me to just quit guessing. You're hurting their feelings. They think they're fooling you. I said, well, they're not.
Oh yeah, not at all.
But there have been some times I said, now let me guess. I said, you're from the Manila area? No, I am Filipino, but no, I'm not. Are you from Cebu? Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Because sometimes I can break it. Sometimes I can break it down. Sometimes I can break it down to the city they're from.
Damn.
And through talking to enough people, either in customer service or the Filipinos that we talk to on the show, is just one of those things, And thank you so much for your donation, Jazzy Jana. You have made the second largest donation of the night, next to Jeffrey Sanford, that did the $55 donation. Yeah. So those two donations alone are very nice. Is Bob coming on the show, or is he watching hockey?
Jeffrey, don't call me Red Sanford. I don't know.
Oh, was his name
Red Fox?
Yes, yeah. Oh, Red Fox is what I was thinking of. There you go. And
you big dummy.
Let me see if I can add up what we got in the house tonight. We got Jeffrey Sanford, and like I said, if you have a Venmo account and can help us out,
Jana, tell me you ain't thinking about the theme song right now.
You know what theme song just came to my head, and I really didn't like the show, but I watched it for one girl.
What's happening?
Facts of Life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And who was the uppity white bitch?
Blair.
I like Blair. Had a great look, but you know that you would want to kick her out of your house in about 5 minutes.
And she looks exactly the same.
She has held up pretty good. I've seen her on some shit recently.
She's a hardcore God girl, though.
Oh, well,
she's a Candace.
She is, yeah. Her and I,
or whatever.
Her and I wouldn't do so good.
No, not at all.
We wouldn't do good.
I wonder what Joe looks like now. I always thought she was kind of hot for a tough bro.
Here's something. Let me know if you know this. You know the wrestler Jaden Drago that I was talking about on the show here not long ago?
That's the guy that trained me.
Oh my fucking God.
Yes.
Okay. He just wrote me. He says, is your co-host Jason Tevis? How do you pronounce your last name?
Tevis, yep.
I think I know that guy.
Drago's going as the Hall of Fame
apparently you trained him. I hope you know it.
It's been about 10 years, but yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's watching the show.
Well, what's up, Jaden?
Did you tell me that, or were you on the last show?
The very first time I came on, I think I talked about it. Because we were talking about IWA.
Did I tell you how I met him?
No.
Okay, Jaden is friends with a person that I was working with on PayPal. The guy on PayPal, he just wrote back, "Holy fuck!"
Get in touch with me, Jaden.
I got a guy. Jason says for you to get in touch with him. Pop in the chat room, man. I think you're free to pop in here. You only got to be a member for 20 minutes. Pop in the chat room and say, "Hey." A friend of his is my customer service representative on PayPal. And we're having a lengthy conversation about this, that, and the other. And then wrestling comes up. And I'm filing a dispute against Geico for charging me $274. They shouldn't have charged me because I've been with my other company now for a few months.
That is not 15%.
And so I filed a dispute against Geico. Jaden's buddy, which I don't know this at the time, is the one helping me. And I won't say his name because his name is very unusual, and anybody at PayPal will know who I'm talking about. So we'll keep his name out of it. But he says he starts looking up my videos because we started talking about pro wrestling. I said, well, let me give you a couple of cool things to look at. And I tell him about me wrestling Cena and then me, Mark Cuban, and Cena. And he says, have you ever heard of a wrestler named Jaden Drago? I said, the name sounds familiar. I said, I know the name. I can't say that I know him, but I know the name. He says, let me write my buddy and see if he knows who you are. So he writes him, and the guy says, yeah, I know who that is. He says, why you ask? He said, well, I'm on the phone with him right now doing some customer service. Holy fuck, you're talking to Kenny Bolin on the phone, right? So he tells me, he says, well, this is cool as hell. He says, you verified who Jaden is, and Jaden has verified that you're kind of a big deal. I said, well, yeah. So then Jaden tells me his history, that he is he trained with Lance Cade.
Roommates. They went to
high
school together.
high school buddies, yeah.
Yeah.
So immediately, Lance Cage's one of my favorite students I ever had.
Mhm.
So immediately, I feel a connection with Jaden, and he also worked with Paul London. Well, Paul London was in my home almost every day for years.
Yep.
Paul London was one of our closest friends. Him and my son became very dear friends.
Really?
And then he tells me a story about CM Punk. Gave him a ride to Dayton out of the kindness of his heart. Jaden needed to do the show, but he didn't think his car would make it, or something like that. And I know Punk said this because this is exactly how Punk would say it. Well, come on, kid, you can ride with me. I said, yeah, that's exactly what he would have said. And he says, I only knew the good CM Punk. I said, well, I knew that version, and I knew the shit version. I knew both. So,
now, Drago, do you remember that kid we trained with that claimed to be Punk's cousin? His name was Nick Brooks. I think but we never found any real connection. Then he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Oh, really? Yeah. He just sent you a bro hug, by the way.
All right, man. Right back.
Well, I hope he's in here. I hope he said, Jaden, if you're in here, say hey, man.
It's a small fucking world, isn't it?
Isn't it now? He says, is that Jason? He's I know. I think I know that guy. Yeah. Hey, do you know Jaden Drago? Yeah, he trained me. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, I was telling him and the buddy at PayPal. So the guy at PayPal, even though I thought I was fighting an uphill battle with Geico, he got it put through. And so I appreciated that. I didn't want to give away no fucking $274 to fucking Geico when I've already been with another company for X amount of time.
Shit, that's less than a monthly premium.
My God.
I mean, more, I should say.
Well, Jaden's going to be coming on the show soon, and he might not be able to come on tonight. No, I want to schedule Jaden on the show so that way he can get word out to his friends, family, and fan base to come over. And
Jaden, when is the Hall of Fame ceremony? He's being inducted into the Nebraska Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Oh, is he from Nebraska?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. It's just
I understand you're being inducted into the Nebraska Hall of Fame. Oh, he says he vaguely remembers this Nick Brooks. Yeah, he says he vaguely.
He's the kid that was trying to call out like Skinner and Norman Smiley as being his trainers or whatever. But
oh my God, he says he was claiming that Skinner and Norman Smiley were his trainers, and nobody knew Steve Kern better than I did, other than Jim Cornette. Well, I just sent him I just sent him that message twice.
And what's funny is I told my wife a long time ago to send him an email, and then we both forgot because she works at PayPal too. So
I don't know how I sent you that twice.
Matter of fact, there is so much like wrestling connection to me because my mother's doctor is the doctor that told Mike DiBiase to get out of the ring. My grandfather worked with Baron von Raschke's dad.
Me and Cornette used to love Baron von Raschke.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Mad Dog Vachon used to run around.
Well, we need to get you scheduled on the show soon, and we'll make sure Jason is here for that.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Yeah, you blew me away when you said that. Yeah, you trained me.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I almost paused when you said the name. I was like, how the hell do you know the
name? Nebraska is also a great place for storms. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, yeah. I got a buddy that's into that shit, and just, those videos he sends me all in the tornado.
He says, man, I kind of do remember this, but I tend to forget the true marks. And
that's exactly what that dude was.
Let's get you on the show next week if possible. Probably Thursday would be great if that's cool with you. And
my wife would be excited too. She liked him.
He says he's been on road trips with Mad Dog.
Yep.
Well, I haven't done that. Yeah. All right. Pretty cool.
It is.
He trained me. That was the last goddamn thing I was looking for you to say. He trained me.
Man, this world is so small. It's just
because
crazy.
he was in the same training class with Shawn Michaels.
Uh-huh.
Because Shawn Michaels is who trained him.
And
And then
Reboy Gonzalez.
he says I was in a class with Lance Cate, Paul London,
I think
and
Spanky. What's his real name? Or
Banky. Yeah, we heard some stories about that.
Brian Kendrick. Yeah, that's his name.
Brian Kendrick. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, Paul never told us that he had a severe falling out. Even Chris doesn't know much about it. He knows they had one, but he doesn't know all the stinky details that come with it. And Paul was as good of friends with Chris as anybody.
Who
So
had
I
a
need to
falling out?
find out
Paul
what
and who?
happened. Because they were a tag team when they first went up. I never met Kendrick. I never met him. But when Paul got called up from Louisville, that's who they put him with, and they were probably tag champions for a
Yeah,
little
they
bit.
were champs for a while. Weren't they called like the Pit Bulls or some shit like that?
They weren't the Pit Bulls.
The new Pit Bulls or something.
No, maybe Jaden knows, but I don't know what they were called, but I don't recall it being the Pit Bulls because we've already had that team.
They had two versions.
No, did they? Well, if they were, I stand corrected. You know, I have not watched but about 10 minutes of Monday Night Raw yet. Anything happen worth talking about? You haven't seen any either?
Not this past Monday night, no.
No, I haven't either. Haven't seen any of it.
They actually didn't have an official name.
Oh, really? Okay.
They were just London and Kendrick.
Well, there you go. Might be why they didn't last. Didn't have an official name.
This picture does have them with the belts on. So
yeah, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I wrote Bob giving him shit over Dallas getting their ass handed to them by Winnipeg because they were up 3-1 late in the second quarter. I said, obviously they're not coming back from this, which I'd already knew the final. And Dallas scores like 5 goals in 2.5 minutes or something.
Didn't that happen to them like a few months ago?
There's empty netters and just all kinds of shit going on. The game goes from 3-1 to 6-3 in no time.
Yeah, there was a game where they were up 3-1, and so I bet that they would, win by 2 goals, and the other team came back and beat them by 4, or it was like 4-3.
Oh my god!
And it was like
it was worse last night. Dallas was down 3-1 late, and here's what I did not know: a Canadian team has not won the Stanley Cup since like '92.
Was it Montreal?
I don't remember the last team that won it, but I think they said it's been many years. I thought I heard 92, but I know it's been pushing 20 years or longer. But I thought I heard today that a Canadian team's not won the Stanley Cup since '92. Bob might know. It won't hitting on shit, Kenny. I don't know what Billy's talking about.
It won't be hitting on shit. I don't remember talking about hitting them.
No.
It was the Montreal Canadiens in '93.
93. Okay, all right.
They beat the Kings.
That is a long ass fucking drought. Isn't that pardon my math, isn't that 32 years?
That would be 32 years, yes.
Yeah, that's 20. Holy fuck. 32 years the Canadian team has not won the Stanley Cup.
That's crazy.
Wow. Who the fuck would even believe that?
I know. That's yeah. Teams in Texas and Florida and shit are winning them.
The Montreal Canadiens. What do we have a team in America called the Americans?
I bet it's coming.
The Dallas Americans.
It'd be the Washington Americans.
Oh God, I could see that happening. We better get him out of office before he tries to encourage some blowhard to do that. The Montreal Canadiens. Why? I don't even get why you would name your team.
Yeah. Well, I mean the Houston Texans.
That's also bad.
Mm-hmm.
The Cincinnati, Ohio.
Being a Texan is kind of a thing, but still,
Cowboy hat and boots.
There's not very much thought put into that.
I wonder if Bob Hazelwood has ever wore cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. Because I can picture it.
I could too.
I can picture it.
Do you picture the House Cartwright style hat?
I probably have had a cowboy hat and boots, but I was probably 6 years old when I did it.
I wear one.
I remember having the hat with the string And I remember because I love West. I had the horse with a stick.
The broom horse. Yeah.
I had the broom horse. Yeah, I had that. And I remember being 6 years old, living on Cherry Lane, having the cowboy hat. Don't know that I had boots. That might be more than Pop could afford.
Was that the Ponderosa?
I was not on the Ponderosa. I was on Cherry Lane. We had a 1/4-acre lot. It was.
So it was the tumbleweed.
Yeah. One of my favorite episodes of Bonanza was the episode opens up and Hoss and Little Joe and Adam had been riding for days. Ben might have even been. Ben was with them. They've been riding for like 4 days, and they come up on some guys resting upon a tree. They ride up to the tree because they're showing in stages how they're traveling across this land, and they've been on the trail for like 3 days. They get off their horses, walk up to the guy on the tree. Pardon me, sir. You do realize you're on Ponderosa property.
I remember that episode. Yep.
You've been riding for 3 fucking days, and you're worried about the tree they're resting under. You racist white fuck. God damn, Ben. Tell him a lot. Let him rest for crying out fucking loud. Ben,
didn't they say the Ponderosa was like 100,000 acres or some shit like that?
They tell you in the first episode because when it comes on, they're showing, and it was I think I looked it up. And it was like 64 square miles or something.
Yeah,
maybe even bigger. Hang on.
They drew the map
hey
all
Google.
wrong.
Hey Google. What was the square footage of the Ponderosa on the show Bonanza?
According to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, the family's cook was Chinese immigrant Hop Sing.
That's exactly what you asked.
Square mile ranch called the Ponderosa.
A 1,000 square mile ranch.
California, on the edge of the Sierra Nevada range.
On the edge of the Sierra Nevada in the parts of California and Lake
So it's equivalent to 640,000 acres.
The Ponderosa on the eastern shore of Lake Tahoe in Nevada, opposite California and the edge of the Sierra Nevada range. 1,000 square miles. See, I thought it was like 64 miles, and I was impressed with that.
Yeah.
That you can own a 64-mile ranch. No, 1,000 square miles.
Back then.
So what did you say that was the equivalent of?
640,000 acres. So for those of you wondering what an acre looks like, it's a football field.
They tell you in the opening episode how big it is.
Yeah.
Because it opens up and there's Ben narrating and they're talking to, and I think it's Hoss, Adam, and Little Joe and Ben on their horses.
Yep.
And was there ever? I mean, you hear about all the horrible ways that immigrants are treated and migrants are treated. Who got treated worse than Hop Sing? They treated him like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then made fun of the way he talked. Ben Cartwright himself made fun of the way Hop Sing talked.
Yep. But there was one episode. Remember when it was
who defended Hop Sing? You know who defended Hop Sing the most though? You didn't fuck with Hop Sing. Hoss Cartwright. You know why? Because he made good vittles. He made good vittles.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to.
Did you see that episode where there was a big man that just kept getting in trouble, like with everybody getting fucked up?
Bob Hazelwood. I've worn cowboy boots. I've worn cowboy hats, but never at the same time. There is a line. There is a line you don't cross. If you put the hats and the boot on at the same time. See, I'm in that same qualification. I've worn them. No, I've never had cowboy boots. I've always been a tennis shoe guy. I had dress shoes, but I didn't like them. No, I was never.
But they're not like Dusty Rhodes style or anything like that. They're just more.
Dusty Rhodes has worn cowboy boots, and Bob.
And I've heard that he's only wore cowboy boots while he books in the locker room.
I could see that. I could honestly see that. Now, when he used to come to OVW and do the Six Flags shows with us and evaluate talent, I honestly to God don't remember if he wore cowboy boots here or not. It was always jeans, of course. And I probably did. I mean, I don't remember. He definitely wasn't wearing tennis shoes. So whatever he wore, it was not tennis shoes.
You know, the one kayfabe I was able to keep since I was like 9 years old was I heard Dusty talk for real once. And I never let on that I knew.
I've told you the story of how I introduced Chris to Dusty Rhodes, right?
Uh-huh.
Because Christopher, I'll tell it again. What the fuck? And hopefully we get some more. hopefully we get some more donations because we need them.
Good
We've had some
stories,
fun
y'all.
here tonight. I haven't even talked. Oh, if you want to see how, just to get my political shit in tonight, you be the judge of how crooked this shit is. Watch the Chris Hayes show tonight for the first 16 minutes and watch it, the open, blatant crookedness of this administration when it comes to this Bitcoin and meme coin shit. They got an event going on tonight for $500 million donated. That's the minimum donation to be a part of this 20-person extravaganza at one of his golf courses tonight. For $500 million, you can be one of 22 people. You can be one of 22 people to join him at his golf club tonight, to where all the money goes to him and his kids, and 80% of it gets deferred to some other part of his businesses. And they said this is okay because this is the president's personal time, and he's not doing it at the White House. They accepted the jet.
And people lost their fucking minds.
They accepted the jet from Qatar. Can you imagine if Joe Biden had accepted a jet from a terrorist organization, which is what they were a year ago, said so by Donald Trump? They're terrorists. Oh, they have a $400 million jet. All is forgiven.
As long as it fits your narrative.
And it's going to cost them $1 billion to refurbish the plane.
Yeah, they have to strip that damn thing all the way down.
Well, because they said that actually they said the nuts and bolts could have microphones in them.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he's
like a Trojan horse.
He's costing the taxpayers a fuckload of money on a plane that he will never see during his administration. That's why he wants it to go to the library, because him and his family can fly on it anytime they want if it's in his library. And then that Pam Bondi bitch used to work for Qatar. She was a representative of them, some sales representative, some ambassador. What was her salary? $1.3 million a year. She was making $120-something thousand a month. I think that's what that comes out to. Somebody do the math on that for me. Who made a donation here?
Narn Anderson.
Well, we haven't seen or heard from Narn in quite some time.
Of the legendary family.
I know. What are they saying here? I know you like
the westerns. Are you fans of Lonesome Dove? I never watched it. That's the one that Bret Hart was on.
I have seen Lonesome Dove. I wasn't overly crazy about it. It was not among my favorite. I didn't even know Bret Hart was in it.
Yeah, he was in a few episodes. They made a big deal out of it. Back in like '94 or some shit like that.
Yeah. No, I apparently just saw a handful of episodes because I don't even remember Bret Hart.
It started as a movie, didn't it? And then spun off into a series or something like that.
Well, Billy, you thought it was funny when they were going to hang a black man at NASCAR, so I would expect you would have boots and a hat. So.
Oh, both boots. I thought for some reason I saw bath boobs when I
Billy, you haven't answered me. Where's your badge? I know goddamn well you got $3. Where's your badge?
Billy, where is that badge?
Where is your badge? He hasn't even answered me.
Bad boy, Billy.
Billy, did you get your golf cart? I told your friend Scott Fowler you were off the hook for buying him not Scott Fowler, whatever his fucking name is.
Steve
Fowler guy. You saved yourself $80. You don't have to buy him a picture now.
There you go.
He didn't feel bad about taking your $80 either, because I've given him.
Was that the Rock and Roll Express picture?
Yeah. I said you got a good job. Don't make Billy pay $80 for your fucking picture. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
So God intervened for Billy, because now he doesn't have to buy it because there is no Rock and Roll Express picture. So saved him a little money there.
Are they just too tired and booked, or what?
I guess
slip out the back door.
I was told they left early before Herb Simmons could get with them to sign the pictures. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know what autographs we got, if any. I don't know.
Tito Santana, I'm sure.
Tito was there. I saw him.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard from Herb to see what he got, so I don't know.
I'm guessing Bob Orton.
I hope that was one of the ones I requested. I told him, hell, I'd love to have one of Bob. Hell, I worked with him. Never thought to ask him for one. So,
Yeah, when you're in the heat of things, you don't think about that.
No, you don't. It's 10:45, and we're probably about to wrap this up because I think the donations have come to a standstill.
It's the greatest nation in the world. Y'all fucking it up.
We're going to try to get Jaden Drago on here next Thursday and reunite you two.
That'd be great. It's been
That
15
would be.
years.
I cannot believe I dropped that name on you. And you
I can't either. Like, it took me way off guard.
Mm-hmm. Good, Chris, if you're watching out there tonight, we're getting to the point we could really use your help on this paperwork for Jin and the third washer. It's not I call it a washer dryer. It's a washer spin dryer. And they go for about $100. As a matter of fact, when Jasmine and her family were out shopping for theirs today, it was 1,000 pesos over their budget. They were shopping for something in the 5,000 peso range, and it was 6,000 pesos. So it's another $20, right? So we'll see how we did overall tonight. If anybody out there would like to pay the difference to help them get that, because we've already sent them the 5,000 pesos. But if anybody out there would like to sponsor the last 1,000 pesos they need for that washer, let me know. Get to us. Not got my golf cart yet. All right, Bill. Well, Billy, you hung in there 40 minutes late for us tonight. Still didn't tell me
institutionalized.
Still didn't tell me why you didn't get your badge, but that's all right. Be good, Billy.
Don't be a hero.
Billy, why didn't you get? You said you. I don't know. Why didn't you get your golf cart, Billy? He said they were going to finance it for him or something. I thought that's what he told me.
Like to ride around on the streets and shit.
Yeah.
There's little communities around here where old people.
That's what Dutch Mantel does. He's got like a little golf cart he gets around in.
Oh, he's in Florida.
And rides around his community wherever he lives,
honking and smoking cigars.
Yeah. So if we got anybody out there watching right now that would like to sponsor the last $20 so they can get the washing machine they wanted, that would be great. And if Good Chris is watching, anything you could do would be appreciated. And then I guess I'm just going to write my people that don't donate that often and just make an appeal to them and let them know what we're doing. Thank you so much, Jazzy Jana. Let me go over these. We had your friend, Christy, with $10, Jazzy Jana with $39, $12 and change from Zach Bonifer, $15 from Daniel Lemley, and then the $55 donation made by Jeff Sanford. They called them challenges, but nobody accepted their challenge. So what do you do?
Next time he gonna put 5 across your lip if you don't accept that challenge.
I guess. So, and like I said, if there's anybody out there watching the show that would like to help our families, anybody that has a Venmo account, see if you can help us out there. And I'm going to see if I can transfer some of tonight's donations to Venmo and see how that goes. So we'll work on it. And other than that, I'm Kenny the Star Maker Bolin. That is Bill the Strangler Lewis. And for Jaden Drago, who will be on here eventually, the man that trained Bill the Strangler Lewis. We did say
good night, everybody.
We say good day, and I haven't hit the button yet, so I guess I go. In stream, here we go. We did say good day.